Hello, can you introduce yourself and share your background in teaching English, please?
I'm Sasha, and I've taught kids, teens, and adults of all level, both in classroom and online. Since English is also my second language, I really understand the struggle students face. Um, I'm also mom, digital nomad. I lived on three continents and visited over 20 countries. I also speak four languages. So all of this shapes the way I teach. For me, English is more about culture, real people, but not just rules.
What inspired you to join American English Pathway?
What drew me to AEP is the vision behind it. Our founder, Bob Stanger, created this program after years of teaching international students who come to the United States with good grades, great grammar, but they still struggle in real communication. AP bridges this gap by combining culture and language and also explaining the why. Why are we using language in a certain way? And how culture can shape communication. So I simply knew I wanted to be a part of this mission.
Why do you believe English education should be more than just grammar and vocabulary?
Well, I believe that grammar and vocabulary are just the tools. They are important, yes, but real communication happens when students know how to use language in certain situations, how to connect with people. Uh, and I believe that AP brings this to life by teaching them how to use English in real situations, not just a textbook English.
What is American English Pathway in simple terms?
Okay, so American English Pathway is a learning program that combines American culture and language. We teach our students how American English is used in everyday situations, in school, in family, in real life, when, for example, you go shopping. Um, American English Pathway is a pathway that brings our students from very beginners to confident learners who will thrive in real life environment.
How is EAP different from traditional English programs?
So most traditional programs are built around grammar drills, memorizing, or preparing for tests. AP is different because we built our program around real communication, um, cultural context, and group learning. Students start one on one to build their confidence, but then they move to small groups because they need to communicate with different people, just like in real life. And most importantly, we help them build meta linguistic awareness, which in simple words is understanding of how the language works and how they learn it, not just any students, but this particular student, what works for him, her, and what doesn't. So I believe once student understand not just what to learn, but why we're learning this. This makes English alive and that makes it realistic.
What role does culture play in AAP teaching philosophy?
Well, culture is at the heart of what we do. Uh, we cannot simply separate language and culture because words and expressions they carry cultural context, right? They carry meaning that can be lost without knowing the cultural context about it. And I believe, and we all here believe that this deeper understanding helps students not just memorize but truly learn English.
Why is combining English language learning and American culture is so important for students?
First of all, in American English is the most widespread dialect of English in the world, so we believe this will be the most helpful in international setting. Also, by learning culture behind the language, it makes the language meaningful. For example, if you learn grammar rules, yes, you can pass a test, but you'll freeze in the real conversation. Or when you hear your friend uses an idiom and you can recognize all the words, but without cultural context, the meaning will be lost. So we help students to uh, bridge this gap, and combining culture and language will help them become confident communicators in real life.
What kind of students is AEP designed for?
So, AP is designed for those who want not just to pass the test, right? Our students want to communicate. They want to maybe study abroad or travel or even go into international school in their home country, but to use English with confidence.
How does AEP help students prepare for studying abroad or working internationally?
AP prepares students for real life communication, practice, and cultural understanding. For example, they learn what an American classroom feels like, or how group project works, or how everyday conversation goes. So, our students, once they get abroad, um, or if they enter international environment, they don't experience culture shock. They're prepared and they feel at home in every English speaking situation.
What skills do students gain beyond just speaking English?
Well, beyond just speaking English, our students gain teamwork, problem solving, and cultural awareness. They learn how to listen to different accents, how to share ideas in a group, and how to express their ideas respectfully. They also develop metalinguistic awareness and understanding how language works and how their own brain learns it. That skill helps them become more confident learners, not just in English, but beyond that.
What makes AAP classroom experience unique?
Well, the AAP classroom feels alive. Instead of just memorizing rules or lists of vocabulary, students interact, play, discuss, connect everything to American culture. For example, in our junior and bridge program, we weave cultural insights from 8 different US states. So students don't just learn English, they explore real places, real traditions, um, values, food, and so on. That makes English not just a subject, but a pathway into American life.
How do you keep students engaged and motivated?
Well, we keep our lessons alive and meaningful, right? So students use different skills. Sometimes they draw, sometimes they play games, they discuss things, they create dialogues, they have projects to put their new knowledge into use. And because everything is connected to real American culture, like sports, family life, school traditions, they see the why behind this learning. So I believe that makes it fun and motivating, and not just another task.
How does EEP prepare students not only academically but also socially for life in the US?
Well, academically, we teach vocabulary, reading, writing, and speaking in ways that match US classrooms. Socially, we prepare them for teamwork, group discussions, and understanding cultural norms. Students learn how to work in team, how to express their opinion, how to adapt to new situations. These skills help them feel at home when they step into a US school or international environment.
What role do small group activities with interactive learning play in the program?
Well, group activities are at the heart of AEP because our students they start with one-on-one classes for a short period of time to build a little bit of confidence, but then they move to group setting, and that's where magic happens, right? Because they learn how to listen to different accents, how to express themselves, how to work with other people and solve problems together. Interactive learning prepares our students for real life when they step out of the classroom and enter international environment.
Why do you think AEP is valuable for schools around the world?
Because it gives our students real life readiness. Most of the school, right, they want their students to succeed internationally, but many of them stop at test preparation. AP goes further. We prepare students for life abroad, for cultural exchange, for working across borders. That program turns English into opportunity.
How does AEP fit into bigger picture of global education and cultural exchange?
AP is part of building bridges. When students learn English through culture, they don't just learn a language, they learn to understand another worldview. That creates empathy, curiosity, respect. In the global world, that's powerful, right? So AP helps students not only join conversations, but also contribute to true cultural exchange.
What is your hope for students who complete the EEP program?
So my hope is that they leave not only fluent, but confident, ready to use English in school, at university, or in their careers. Um, More than that, I want them to use English as a key to open doors, um, to friendships, to new ideas, to opportunities that might not even imagine yet. And I hope they develop the skill of noticing how language works, um, because that ability helps them keep growing and adapting whatever their journey takes them.